Morning.
Morning. Thank you, Jojo.
No, not Jojo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just,
Rabbi will be with us in a second. He said take him a second or Shana. Larry is with us.
It's together, Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah, I have these. I have this. Larry, we have half your head.
oh, sorry.
There we go.
Good morning.
Boker Tov, Rabbi Prague.
Look at any extra news? So Israel is trying not to talk too much about the invasion.
No, I haven't heard any.
Not a word. Quiet.
Let's open again. Tomorrow morning we'll start a little later because they have a Tarat Yadarim, and so it'll be like 10 minutes, like 7:25 or 7:30. So look into Zion Amud Bet.
Oh, you back to Rosh Hashanah?
ואמר רבי יצחק, it's in the middle of the middle line. ואמר רבי יצחק, כ"ט זין עמוד ב' ואמר רבי יצחק, 4 דברים מקראים גזר דינו של אדם, which means even though he was sentenced, and there was a verdict, it's possible to change. אלו הם צדקה, this is known, צדקה, צעקה. צעקה means if the, okay, a minute, שינוי השם. Occasionally you see if someone is very sick, they change his name. שינוי השם ושינוי מעשה. Now the Gemara is elaborating on each one of the cases. There are 4 approaches to change. The first one is tzedakah. Everyone knows the pasuk in the Gemara brings. Dichtiv tzedakah tatzil mimavet. Normally we look at it. You're helping others, yes. But it's much more than that. But we look in after Zion with Bet Rosh Hashanah. Few lines before the white line. It's much more than the Gemara says. It's for acts or for doing a changing result. The first one is tzedakah. The Gemara quotes a pasuk, tzedakah tatzil mimavet. The root of most of the evil doing or bad doing or the wrongdoing of every human being or collectively communities or the world is ego and selfishness. Giving tzedakah is forcing you, yes, to give up something you worked for, something you admire, something you believe in, and you share it with others. This act shows that you are changing your ego. Yeah? Again, it's easy to give a big amount because it's one retina, which is great. To constantly give, as the Rambam says, it shows that there is a change in the person. This is why this is pasuk tzedakah. נכתיב ויצעקו אל השם בצר להם עם מצוקותיהם יושיע. This is the Mizmor that 4 groups of people are in distress, either stranded in the Midbar or they're traveling in the ocean. So the Hasidim say this chapter every Friday, every Friday afternoon, right before Shabbat. See, this is the point. מה זה ויצעקו? If I see a stranger, a kid is trying to cross the street, and it's dangerous, I said, please be careful, be careful. With my grandson, I would scream. Why? It shows that I really care.
What is tzedakah part of remorse? Is it part of teshuvah? What is it? What does tzedakah really mean then? Just to regret?
Tzedakah really means that your belief in Hashem is so strong. Remember, not because I think it is deaf. If I scream, it shows that I really believe that he is the only one
Who could help me? You're saying that something has to go along with tzedakah. There's
No,
something
but
that
this-
needs to be
There
with
are
it.
10 languages of Tfilah. Tzedakah is one of the highest of the 10. You have it in Sefer Shemot, yeah?
But remorse doesn't go with tzedakah when you
I
scream.
think it's fifth time, actually.
Somebody is in peril, they're gonna scream, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. There's something goes with
No,
it.
no, you are right. You are right at a certain point. You know, if a person is repenting, then he's screaming, please save me. But normally, a real tefillah, every tefillah, the minute, remember, we are very used to it, so we're not paying attention, but Rosh Hashanah is a good time to, it's a statement. I believe that you are in control. Yes, I believe that you are the
So
only
you're saying
one.
that tzedakah means just believing in Hashem,
Yeah,
showing a
but-
belief.
But showing
Okay.
from inside, not external. We have more than more.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Take that, and I'll look. Just a second.
So
Thank you.
it says when the Jewish people, yeah, Vayamat Melech Mitzrayim, yes, ויצעקו, someone apparently has a chavotah with every voice, we have the first two books. I don't, we didn't put it collectively, that's all. זה גם זה לא בדרה, הנה חבל.
Yeah.
So we have tzedakah, the second one is tzedakah. The third one is Shinui Hashem. See, Shinui Hashem, Eli, is more what you said. People think that just by changing the name means the name is essence, the essence of a person.
Changing who you are.
Remember, by us, giving a name today normally is politics. This grandfather, yes, okay? But basically, the name represents your essence. ותקרא שמו ראובן, כי ראה השם בעוני. ותקרא שמו שמעון, שמע השם בעוני. לוי, הפעם מלווה ישי. יהודה, הפעם מודה את השם. רחל, נמזים יוסף, יועץ אסף השם את חברתי, כן?
Could you lower the camera just a bit, Rabbi Prague, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, but this is why the Hebrew name is so essential. The English name, a person can give himself whatever he wants, yeah? It's meaningless completely, yes? The only time you write it is in the ketubah or the get. Because for some people, they don't know as a Jew, but your identification is your Hebrew name. It's obviously because everyone has a mission. The name that he has, yes, is, I mean, the same as in the army, yes. If you're a small or big, okay. V'shinui ma'aseh, everyone in his own level. So there are the four ideas that the Gemara is giving us to change even a verb is, again, the first one is tzedakah, the second one is not tefillah, it's tzedakah. The third one is Shinui Hashem. And the fourth,
So why didn't they use this in the Machzor? Why did they change it in the Machzor and not use these four and use only the other three?
it is.
And that's why if you show me
It's a
that
good question. I mean, I think if you, he's referring, because in the Machzor we say Utshuva, Utfilah, Utzdakah. Are you asking about the order or?
no, I'm asking. Obviously, I'm asking both. Unless you say Zakah and Tefillah the same.
באמת, yes. all the three are there.
Right,
Tshuva is really Shinui Maaseh.
right, sure.
Tefillah is tzedakah. But again, you realize when you say it with the masses of the people, you can't tell everyone tzedakah, because then you think you're crazy. When my kids were very young, there is a shul in our neighborhood for Hasidei store, and they're known to be praying with screaming. So I figured I'll take my kids to see. My son got frightened.
Got scared.
No, he got frightened. Because really, you look at him. Okay, but this is the way. But the Gemara is saying, if you are so desperate in your tefillah, is a tzedakah, yes? So tshuva tefillah. Now, why is tzedakah at the end? It's a very good question. The real answer goes like this. I'll give you an example. The Gemara says, כל הצריך לאותו דבר. המתפלל על חברו והוא צריך לאותו דבר, דוגמה עם בבא קמא says, הוא נענה תחילה. Right? So if you have a certain need and your friend has the same and you are able to pray for him and he prays for you, if I pray for him because I want to be answered first, it's meaningless.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, the whole idea of the Gemara is you really feel his pain. So you can really pray because you really feel what he is undergoing. Yes. Person comes to visit a sick person, he tells him, I had the same. He listens to you totally different. But the person has tragedy. You share with him, I have similar experiences, he's looking at. So this is what, so the tzedakah that you're giving is not giving up because you have to be saved. So basically you're doing a selfish idea. Because I'm in distress, I understand that I have to pay attention
To the needs of others.
attention to others.
Reality doesn't really work that way so
What?
much.
Okay, but Eli, we are human.
When
And
people,
this is the answer. He's question. He's asking by Ashkenazi. We have a
This
very
is tzedakah,
moving
okay.
tefillah at the end. The conclusion, everyone screams tshuva or tefillah or tzedakah. How come the Gemara doesn't go with the order? The answer is, if the tzedakah comes after tshuva and after tefillah, the tzedakah is a different type of tzedakah. Okay. The Gemara continues here. Shinui
Does
Hashem.
Sfardim don't have that in their Machzor?
They don't have that. The Taneh Tokev is an Ashkenazi tefillah.
But they don't have Utshuva, Tefillah, Tzedakah, Ma'avir, and Roa Geshem.
Any place this combination, tshuva, tefillah, tzedakah,
No.
none of them remember, so obviously it's not there. They have other very moving parts, but it's interesting. The major difference between Sephardic and Ashkenazic, since I'm saying Slichot every morning, Sephardic, everything is done together. You're singing a lot. This way you're paying more attention. By us, very often it's written by people 500-600 years ago, very poetically, but it's difficult to understand, and every day it's different. So it's much more difficult to relate to.
Just in general, you always said there's more simcha in our tefillot than in more of a different type of attitude.
If you say to the Hasidim, they would laugh at you. Hasidim pray with simcha. You go to pray Shachrit and Shabbat, from A to Z, everything is singing. Here and there you are melody.
But even if I was going to say the types of tunes, there
Right,
are
right,
other
the
things.
type.
More melodic. The tunes in Ashkenazim are very often more somber.
It depends, as
And
I'm
I
saying
think it's
again.
informed by the history also. We've had a lot of persecution over centuries.
100%.
So it's a part of their prayers, part of their poem.
100%.
Hashem, we've had much
Remember,
more.
the melodies are giving life to the tefillah.
Yeah.
Yes.
The melodies elevate the tefillah. Not just said the words.
So look a second what happens here with Sarah. Hashem says to Abraham, Sarai ishtecha lo tikra et shema Sarai, ki Sarah v'lehei shema, וכתיב right after, ובירכתי אותה, וגם נתתי ממנה לך, בן, this is Yitzchak. Now it's needless to say that what did it was not the change of the name, but it's part of it. what happened is Yitzchak has to be born in a certain
In
time.
Eretz Yisrael.
A new, like, he has to be born in Eretz Israel. Abraham and Sarah are starting to build. Nevertheless, the fact that Hashem is saying it, but there are many factors, this is one of the factors. Shinui Maaseh, we read on Yom Kippur the story. We read on Yom Kippur the story of Yonah. נכתיב, וירא האלוהים את מעשיהם, right? Everyone was sitting down, it doesn't count. Everyone rips his garments, it's nothing. But it says they changed, they gave back all the stone items. וכתיב וינחם על הרע, וינחם האלוקים על הרע שדיבר לעשות להם ולא עשה. The chidush of the story of Nineveh, of course, is that even by Gentiles, normally the concept of tshuva is a concept by us, not by Gentiles, even by Gentiles. ויש אומרים, אף שינוי מקום. You realize why this is a fifth idea, because שינוי מקום is not something totally different than the others. If I'm changing my seat in shul, if I'm moving to a different neighborhood, if I'm switching a shul, it's a statement. Why am I doing it? Because the chazan is better, or because the crowd is different crowd, because the mood, because the environment in the shul. Of course, the shinui makom of the Gemara means a physical.
But it's not a mazal, Zad.
No, the shinui mazal comes from this Gemara, right?
It is mazal, though. It's concept is still shinui mazal.
No, the Gemara says shinui makom, shinui mazal. It's based on this Gemara.
Yeah, but some people change their place because they daven better in a different shul. Like, for example, if you're busy, if you go to the same shul all the time and you're sitting with a certain chevra, or they know you, if you go to a shul where they don't know you for Yontif, it's a different thing.
No, you're correct. This is exactly what the Gemara means.
I think Rabbi Prague, my uncle used to go to just to Kapishnitzar on Yontif because over there no one knew him and he sat quietly and he didn't daven at his regular place.
His uncle was a very public man. He went to a Hasidic shtibel, and
Be private.
also, of course, Koprishnitz at that time was with the Rebbe of Koprishnitz, who was one of the pillars of the universe, especially in America. Yeah? When Rabbi Kotler was sick, Rabbi Kotler was not a Hasid. Only Rebbe was asking to pray for was Koprishnitz Rebbe.
What if you go for a better breakfast?
What?
Most people do go for a better
Okay,
breakfast.
Eli says sometimes it goes for a better breakfast.
Whatever it takes, whatever it takes.
If you pray better, it's okay.
Look, they go to Uman. All those people go to Uman just to go to a different place.
This year it's very difficult. Rabbi Kotler and the Koprishnitz Rebbe went once
Jimmy's gonna eliminate.
to a wealthy man in Manhattan,
He's not president.
and they knew that the man is trying to avoid them, so to say. They said they're coming anyway. And the secretary is asking. Anyway, the man felt like insulted. You know what I mean? So he came out and he started really to scream at them. You know, he didn't let me. I mean, whatever. He was in a bad mood. Can you imagine, guys? This is two people in America was telling them. No. At the end, the Koprishnitz Rebbe says to him, 100% right. This is we. About the offers that we gave, the guy started to cry. Gave him like 10 times more. Told him, I understand. We deserve it. We didn't let you know. We came in the middle of the day. Everything he says, but the offers. The guy away. He told him, yeah, but you realize you should have walked out. You were sleeping on the phone. Okay. He was a man that when you walked, you felt.
President.
He found out that there was a kid in NYU, and his parents couldn't stay with him for Shabbat. So Shabbat afternoon, he heard this, and man walks into his room. And he said, you know, I heard that you're here. It's the kid is under 12. And then he says to the kid, is there any game you like? He says he likes to play with chess. And the Koprishnitz Rebbe sat with him an hour, played chess. It's a shame no one could take pictures of him. He You felt a little kid is fighting, there's no one there.
You know, to play chess.
No, but he meant what he did. I mean, that's it. Understand, you heard that there's a kid alone. This is a rabbi that thousands of people will do whatever it takes to speak to him for 5 minutes.
Wow.
But yeah, the kid, this is what God wants. This is the people. This is godly people in this earth. Okay. So you understand. So anyway, come. So this is Shinui Makom. Vayomer Hashem el Avraham lech lecha me'artzecha ve'hadar ve'escha legoy gadol. Now, how come the first one did not mention changing your location? Ve'idach, the other one, ahu zechuta be'eretz Yisrael hu de'ani. The reason why Avraham was promised so many things is because he's going to Eretz Yisrael. This is okay. The rest of the Gemara is fascinating, but it's not really related to.
This whole thing that goes home to Kedushat of Yitzchak was more than anybody
This
else.
is why it's Chag, but this is right.
He never left Eretz Yisrael.
Right,
He was
Eli
born
is
there,
right,
he had everything. He was in a different level.
Okay, now I want to show you. Okay, look now in the Gemara in Kafut Zayin. Just tell me, okay.
Nun Zion?
No,
Yud Zayin.
17b.
Amud Bet.
Okay.
This is approximately the 10th line from the top. Vayavur Hashem, doing slichot.
Oh God.
Paradim and the Hasidim say Yud Gimel Midot every day. Ashkenazim say it only Monday and Thursday once. And the slichot everyone says. Where is the source of saying it on special days and special prayers? Vayavur Hashem, Joseph, you have it, look, it's about 10 lines from the top. The first word in the line is Chesed. Vayavur Hashem al panav vayikra. Moshe Rabbeinu is praying on the behalf of the Jewish people after they made the biggest sin in the history, which is Chet HaHegel, yes?
Could you explain what is? I never understood who did what there. Who is doing what at what time? If you could explain.
After we read the Gemara, you'll have the answer.
Okay, thank you.
Amar Rabbi Yochanan, ilmalei mikra katuv, had the pasuk not written this way, no one would ever be able to say what we are about to, what he's about to say. Melamed, shenitatev HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'shliach tzibur. Hashem is teaching Moshe, so Vayikra goes on Hashem, not Moshe. Vayavor Hashem al panav. Come on. Vayikra, Hashem is koreh, ve'er'a lo leMoshe Seder Tefillah. Here it is. Hashem is teaching Moshe how to pray. Yes, this is what he means. Amar lo, Hashem tells you, Kol zeman sheYisrael chotim. Every time they seriously sin, Ya'asu lefanai kaseder hazeh. They should do what I am demonstrating to you now, which is praying with your Gimal Midot, Va'ani mochel lahem. So here in the Gemara, it's clear that Hashem is saying it. Hashem is saying it, Hashem is teaching it. Now pay attention, you realize it doesn't say, Kol zman sheYisrael chotim, yomru lefanai, they should mumble for me, Hashem, Ya'asu lefanai.
Do.
What?
Do. It's an action.
Right, so
It's an action.
the Alshech, the Reshit Chochmah, one of the greatest Sephardic commentators 450 years ago, both say the same. Saying it is like pressing a button of a machine and our lips are spinning out. It's meaningless. Ya'asu means listen to what you say and try to emulate the way of Hashem. So this the Gemara is trying to explain to us. One of the reasons why Sfaradim and Hasidim say it more often, and Ashkenazim a lot, is Kabbalistic reasons. See what happened to Gimel Midot is what happened to Birkat Kohanim and many other things that we do every day. We lose the excitement. If you say it only twice, if you say it only twice a week, it's easier to say. If you say it a little slower, it's much easier to.
Well, that's the problem with Ne'ilah.
Right. So in the real serious yeshivot in Europe, not anymore, in Ne'ilah they used to cut, instead of saying 10 times, they used to say it 5 times. Because just to Israel, Ashkenazim, and Ne'ilah, to say it like one after the other, every.
And you just want to finish it.
Right. But you see from the Gemara, כל זמן שישראל עושים לפניי, so the Gemara is going to explain.
We do the order, we lean forward, is that also part of the doing?
Yeah, because
It's part of doing, it's
Right.
doing without leaning maybe.
you see one of the interesting differences also, by Hasidim and by Sfaradim, the Chazal says, ויעבור השם על פניו ויקרא, and then everyone together is saying, right? In other Ashkenazi yeshivot, everyone is saying together, ויעבור השם על פניו, and the Chazal says it, then you get ready collectively to start, Hashem, but again, it's different ways to make us aware of what we are about to say and try to connect to. It's easy to read the Gemara, it's easy to explain it. In reality, it's difficult because we're so used to it. So the Gemara now is going to explain to us, and there is a very famous Tosfot here. There are 2 opinions. How do you count in 13?
Oh.
Let's read the Gemara first. Is Hashem part of the 13, or Hashem as an introduction, and then you start. Let's see how the Gemara explains. So the Gemara explains, Hashem, what is the double? Hashem. Aniu, Hashem is telling Moshe, Aniu kodem sheyechta adam, v'aniu lachar sheyechta. It is very cute. What does it mean? I understand that after a man is sinning, as the Talmud Devorah is telling us, Hashem is saying, why should I give you
Chance to sin.
not only that, if you remember, Talmud Devorah is using the story with Yeravam and Nebat, yes? As publicly he's saying what he's saying, his hand became paralyzed. Hashem can say you did it, that means paralyze you for a few hours, and maybe you. Hashem says, "Ani ulachar sheyechta," as if you didn't do it. You can see and hear and walk as if you didn't do it. This is real. מה זה אני Hashem קודם sheyechta? קושייה עצומה. Hashem. I am before the mistake and after. I understand after it's a big chesed. Why do you need it before? Says the Rosh. Most of the Gemara don't have the Rosh. They have it, but says the Rosh. Prior to the mistake I'm making, Hashem is aware that I'm about to speak Lashon Hara. Perhaps I should become mute for an hour. A man is running to do something really wrong, paralyzed for an hour just to calm you down. So it means my knowledge about your thoughts and preparing to do so and so doesn't affect. Ani Hashem, Kodem Sheyechta, I'm giving you a chance to be yourself. I'm not interfering in your free choice. Hashem. So this is Hashem. Ani Hashem Kodem Sheyechta, Ani Hashem Achar Sheyechta. Now, the way I'm explaining it now, it's obvious that this is part of the 13 attributes, right? But it's a tremendous chesed of Hashem. Before and after you're doing what you're doing, I'm holding off. So look at Tosafot, 13 midot, see at the top right? אומר רבנו תם, שני שמות הראשונים הם שני מידות. This is the first 2 of the 13. כדאמרינן הכה, as the Gemara just said, אני השם, קודם שיחטא, לרחם עליו, even though I know he's about to do his wrong, ואני מרחם לאחר שיחטא, אם ישוב, okay? אם ישוב. So this is Hashem, okay. תוספות continue, השם, י"ק ו"ק, הוא מידת רחמים, ולא כאלוקים, שהוא מידת הדין, אוקיי? עוון נושא עוון, ופשע, וחטא, ונקה, הם נמנים כארבע. עוון is wrongdoing mistakenly. פשע, I know that this is wrong. חטאה is mored. Mored means you know for sure and you are doing
Like you're against.
against. Baruch Hashem, in our generation we don't see it so often, but before the war in Europe, thousands of people knowingly, willingly, this is the Rambam in Moreh Nebuchim labels, this is Merida, no Merida, you are rebelling against. According to the Rambam, this was the onesh. How come Ba'ir Alidacha, the Rambam says, the punishment is saif, not sekilah, but the entire city is destroyed. The Rambam labels it, so you realize what we're saying.
What's Fenakeh mean?
And then it's cleansing even the highest level.
But then how is that four? We had Hashem, then it says Tosfos just
So
said Shem.
we didn't say that Kel, Rachum, Vechanun, they jumped to this four, but Kel is one, Rachum, Vechanun,
Good.
Erech HaPayim, Verav Chesed, right? Then Noseh Avon, Vafesha, Vechata, Venakeh.
Fenakeh.
If you want to count the 13,
All right, we'll come back there. I'm not sure.
In a minute, no, I understand, but Tosafot skipped at the beginning, because the beginning it's obvious.
And
Rachum v'chanun means some people don't deserve a chance. They don't deserve based on the history of the record. Hashem says, I don't care. So this is the Rachum and Chanun. Okay.
Chanun is Rahum. Okay.
Chanun means matnat chinam, which means
Oh, free. Okay, got it.
some people don't deserve
They
it.
do.
Chanun v'rachum Hashem, yes? אתה חונן לאדם
I know,
גם.
I know. Okay, so it's not
Okay,
deserved.
so go back a second to the Gemara now. In a minute, in most Sidurim, Larry, especially in Sephardic Sidurim, all the Sephardic Sidurim are listing it in Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet. So look a second. Hashem, אני הוא קודם שיחטא האדם, ואני הוא לאחר שיחטא האדם ויעשה תשובה. קל, רחום וחנון, אמר רב יהודה, ברית כרותה לי"ג מידות, כי הוא אומר שברית כרותה, השם makes a promise, ושאינם חוזרות ריקם, שנאמר, Hashem says to him right after, הנה אנוכי כורת ברית. Now please look at the Rashi a minute. Look at the Rashi on the top left. The top, the third line.
Very interesting.
Hashem, you see the Rashi, third line. מידת רחמים, מרחם קודם שיחטא, as we said before from the Rosh, even though he knows what a person is about to do, ואני מרחם אחר שיחטא, אם ישוב. If Yeshua means if he's going on the right highway, regardless of the speed that he's driving on the highway, but he's starting, in a minute, I'll read you from the Siddur, Larry, in a minute, over the Siddur,
I don't know if this is Shabbat. It usually doesn't have it.
No, this doesn't have numbers.
Look for regular Siddur. Or just get a Chumash.
Look further, the Ashkenazic Siddurim don't. No, look at the Tefillah, the Parasha, it's in Parashat Kitisa. In a minute, we'll take out the Chumashim. Okay, forget it for now. Just take out the Chumashim. Because every Siddur, there are two opinions how to list it. Yeah, take out the Chumashim. There's the
זה
Chumashim.
שבת סידורים.
Thank you.
There's no harmony there.
Open Parashat Ki Tisa, Larry. You will see how Rashi in the Chumash. Here Rashi is not. Here Rashi is not.
Yes, there is a Magen Avraham there.
אוקיי,
Now
כאן
we have-
סידור רבה.
Magen Avraham.
Good. Let's stand with the Siddur, but first, good with this.
By the way, it's before the Rosh Hashanah, if you want.
Okay, let's open the Chumash, then George will open the Siddur on a regular Tisa.
In number?
In most places.
Abraham is a pretty thorough.
Yeah,
That's everything in there.
What?
I think this version will number it.
I don't think it is, it's
No,
not
it's very,
very old, yeah.
Now remember, in
before it was the-
every Ta'anit Tzibur, right? We start by Echal Moshe Pnei Hashem Elokav.
Yeah.
Then we skip, right? So we skip to the Gimel Midot, then we do it in public. It's much, you know.
Which it doesn't say you have to hit
Rabbi.
right?
Which
508.
page? 508, page 508. Thank you. See, we jump. Vayomer Hashem el Moshe psol lecha shnei luchot avadim. So look at it. It's Perek Lamed Daled, Pasuk Hey. I'm reading it and then I'll tell you the Siddur, then you would look at Rashi and Chumash. Vayered Hashem be'anan, vayityatzeb imo with Moshe, vayikra, based on the Gemara that we learned today, vayikra Hashem is correct.
But I'm saying that they number it in the notes, or they have it.
Oh, he said that, okay, the,
He's right.
you can give it to.
Very nice, very
Well, you
nice.
have to-
That's what does it. You can give it to George. Page 509.
Yeah. So the article has Hashem Hashem 1 and 2.
We will see in a minute.
I think you're
Right.
on the left side, the left side.
Right, you see, this is one of the. This is why
I would start out saying there's
This is
some
why no, but this is why I wanted you to do it.
right, here, it starts out by saying there's some disagreements among the commentaries regarding.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
Larry, you have it in the article in 509.
I could, and it's, yeah, I have it.
Okay, you have it.
Agreements among.
509. You said it, let him know. Look at 509 in the commentary.
Yeah,
And notes,
Abraham,
notes
so
different.
Oh, they are?
The reason is all this Faradim, Eli, all this Faradim follow Kabbalah. And the Kabbalah here is different than the.
Oh,
You
sure.
look, okay, Rani is reading. You have it, Larry. It's
Yes, I have it.
left.
Rabbi, that's-
There are some disagreements among the commentaries regarding how the words and phrases in these two verses should be enumerated as 13 attributes. It should be noted that some of the attributes may seem to be identical, but the commentaries explain that they apply to all sorts of people who have varying degrees of merit to their credit, so that some degrees of mercy apply to the very righteous, and some to those less so. Some to those who repent out of love for God, and some of those who
This is
repent
the
out of
doc,
fear,
yes.
and so on.
Yes.
We list the attributes according to the count of Rabbeinu Tam, Rosh
Rabbeinu
Hashanah
Tam.
17b.
This is exactly where we are
We
reading.
just heard.
Most of the major commentaries
Yeah.
will also include the explanation of various others.
Realize that this is the way that
Good
Ashkenazim go.
Yeah.
Sfaradim, Eli, and the Hasidim go with the
It's really very
Kabbalah.
extensive.
This is why the Sidurim are different. You see, we saw it was for the Hashem is the first two, right?
Right.
This is the way Art School is.
Yes.
number
You
in
need to have
there.
one and two.
Based on the, but in the Sidurim, Larry, Hashem is only an introduction. Then Kel is one, Achum is two, Chanun is three, Erech HaPayim is four. Let's go with them, then we'll go to the Sidurim. Let's go. Hashem, continue. Hashem, this name.
Hashem, this name, which denotes mercy, appears twice because it refers to two different kinds of mercy. The first is that God is merciful before a person sins, even though he knows that future evil
See, this
lies
is
dormant.
exactly what he's saying.
that
This is
person.
the Rosh. Yes?
Chaim adds that God is merciful even to people who, while they may not have committed sins, have not earned his mercy with good deeds. So
This is
two ways.
different ways. Yes.
Two.
Number two.
Hashem, the second one. The second mention of this name denotes that even after someone has sinned, God mercifully accepts his repentance. Without divine mercy, a sin could not simply disappear from the scales of justice merely because the sinner has repented, just as an assailant cannot free himself from paying for damages merely because he regrets what
But
he did.
isn't Hashem Midas?
This is two. Now remember, so according to Ashkenazim, this is already two. Now number three, Kel, is number one by the Sfaradim. Number Kel. I'm sorry, yeah, Larry, what do you say?
So isn't what the Yud K Vav K is Midat Hadin or Midat Harachamim?
That Arachamim.
So why then he should Midat Harachamim both. Okay.
Say no, but he's saying yes twice Midat Arachamim before the mistake.
And
after. Then number
Three, Kel,
so
God.
remember, number three by the Sfaradim is one.
Right.
First one.
So
We already had two. Go
This
ahead.
name denotes power. In the context of the attributes, it implies a degree of mercy that surpasses even that indicated by the name Hashem.
You understand?
But see why here, maybe this may be, some might say it's repetitive of Hashem.
Yeah,
And
but
that-
it is-
that's why they may
it's
not,
highlighted.
Exactly.
they may not give it separate.
But you understand what he's saying? He's saying sometimes people sunk so much that lose all your value. Hashem says, but I have power above them. Which means the power to overpass.
The two Hashems.
This is exactly what he's saying. Yes.
You want to know?
Yeah, four.
Compassionate. God eases the punishment of the guilty and does not put people into extreme temptation. He is compassionate in that he helps people avoid distress.
You realize what he's saying. There's no time. And Shirat Hashem says, normally, if someone is really in trouble, should be really punished with one shot. Hashem says, "You're taking it easy." Even when I am starting to, if you look at Jewish history of our lives, it's exactly
Is that what it says about Hashem with the Goyim? He does it right away. And with
exactly. You know what Eli says?
He
It says in the Chumash, by the Goyim, he never does it in an easy way. Hashem lets them do it, and then he knocks them out of the stage of history. By us, he's shaving us slowly, exactly because of that. This is, I go to the Chanun.
And
Gracious.
gracious. He is gracious even to the undeserving. He saves people from distress once it has overtaken them. Even the worst of the
Once he is
Yechapayim, slow to anger. With both the righteous and the wicked, God is patient. Instead of punishing sinners immediately, he gives them time to reflect.
This is really the
and-
Talmud Torah that we did
and
2 years ago, yes. Which means you come to a judge and the previous people before you really made the amendment, you are paying for it. Hashem is always not paying attention to what the judge. This is Erech HaPayim. Remember, learning what we said before, that we have to learn from it. To learn from it, there are many things we have to learn, yes?
Remember, the Siddur breaks up Erech and Apayim.
Right, you see in the Siddur, Larry, if you take out the Hashem, so they need extra one, they break Erech HaPayim.
That's true.
Yeah.
And what
You
else?
see Erech HaPayim, yeah. No, V'Rav Chesed is one, then Emet, Nusser Chesed, okay, לאלפים נושא עוון. we take it, you see in a minute, we take Chesed Alafim, yes? You read one more,
Number 7, Daf Hesed.
Yeah.
yeah,
And abundant in kindness. He is kind even to those who lack personal merits. Also, if one's personal behavior is evenly balanced between virtue and sin, tips the scales of judgment toward the good.
Uh-huh.
it's good to have a copy of it or whatever.
I have, you know, I have
You
something
can
beautiful.
put,
I have to, maybe if I can make copies today, I'll.
You make up a small piece of,
That one's put out a.
yes.
But Hillel Haim has beautiful,
yeah, the need for the school, so I do a look at the
Man and truth. God never reneges on His word. To reward those who serve Him.
But you see, number 9 by here, it's 1. Uter Chesed Alafim, in the Siddur, it's 2.
Yeah.
Uter Chesed Alafim,
Nice.
which means that sometimes we wonder to see someone that in our judgment doesn't deserve what we would think he deserves. Uter Chesed Alafim, either his children or his father or his. But Bezrat Hashem will continue tomorrow.
Rabbi Prague,
Yeah.
they just placed restrictions on Central Israel because they shot rockets into Central Israel. So till after Yontif, there can't be gatherings of more than 300 people at one place.
Oh, wow, this is for the news. Huh?
no, he said
Obviously-
Central, Rabbi, he
obviously
said
now-
Central Israel.
Now,
Tel
this-
Aviv got it, Jerusalem got it. I don't remember all the
this
rough.
restriction in Yerushalayim.
Yeah, it says IDF issues new restrictions on Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Sharon, other areas after rocket fire on Central Israel.
Great. Give us a new book how to look at Rosh Hashanah. Everyone understands they are going to really take revenge on all the.
You're not coming tomorrow?
So tomorrow will start probably 10 minutes later, probably around.
Arabs being always scared now.
This is the point. This is the point. They cannot go on the knees. When the meeting comes, you made a mistake, let's stop.
No.
This is not like
No,
this.
he knows he does. He loves the rabbi. He loves the Quds. I'll be there. On video, you get him everywhere. You get him on video.
You see, imagine if once a week we would say Hashem, Hashem.
Yeah.
Morning, Larry.
Morning, Mal.
When we had sleep on a Monday or Thursday, how many times have we said, I can't even count?
The Monday is right. The Slichot is 3. Then the prayers is
I
another
think the
3.
most
6
the most sobering thought is let's Shoshana.
Going on a fire.
Imagine what can happen.
Yes.
Have a great day,
That
everybody.
precipice of anything happening is so frightening.
Have a wonderful day. Let's
Have a
hope.
good day. It was good news only.
Tonight.
See you tonight, Rabbi Prague.
Yeah, we don't have,